Welcome to PsySync, a space to take a deep breath and find some clarity. If our content resonates with you, feel free to subscribe. Enjoy the video.
You know that feeling? You finally get home, the one place you're supposed to be able to recharge, but you feel like a ghost walking through your own life. Your hobbies are collecting dust, talking to the people you love feels like a chore, and the only thing you can really manage is to stare at a screen, not even really absorbing what you're watching. It's a strange and silent kind of exhaustion that settles deep in your bones. And this is where we need to make a crucial distinction, because most people get this wrong. We often confuse stress with burnout, but they are not the same thing. Stress is about feeling overwhelmed, like you're struggling to keep your head above water. Burnout is a feeling of being completely depleted and empty. Stress is the feeling of drowning. Burnout is the feeling of having already drowned, and now you're just an empty shell going through the motions. The scary part is that burnout doesn't just stay where it started, like at your job or at school. It's a contagion. It escapes and starts to infect every other part of your life. This contagion of burnout shows up in three main ways. The first and most obvious sign is how the exhaustion kills your joy. Outside of work or school, this exhaustion shows up as something called anhedonia, which is basically the inability to feel pleasure. Your hobbies, the things that used to be your source of energy and fun, now just feel like another item on your to-do list. It's not that you've stopped liking them, it's that your capacity for joy has been temporarily switched off by the sheer level of depletion. And when your joy is switched off, it's often replaced by something much colder: cynicism. At work, being cynical might feel like a protective shield, but at home, it isolates you. This emotional armor doesn't get left at the door. It turns into irritability, a short fuse, and a strange distance from the people you love most. You start watching your own life like you're a critical, bored spectator. This feeling of being a spectator in your own life feeds into the third, most insidious symptom. The feeling of inefficacy follows you home. The thought that you aren't good enough at your job starts to whisper that you're also failing as a partner, a friend, or a family member. Burnout doesn't just attack your energy, it attacks your identity, making you doubt your value in every area of your life. So, if these are the signs that burnout has infected your life, what do? We can't just try harder. The answer isn't about pushing through, it's about pushing back. It's about rebuilding the wall between the parts of your life that drain you and the parts that are meant to recharge you. And there are practical strategies for that. The first antidote is creating a transition ritual, a deliberate decompression. Burnout erases the boundary between being on and off, so the solution is to create a clear ritual that marks the end of the workday or school day. This could be a 10-minute walk without your phone, listening to one specific song on the way home, or the first thing you do when you walk in the door is change your clothes. It's a powerful symbolic act that signals to your brain, that role is over. Now I begin. The second antidote is to schedule non-productive pleasures. This is your rebellion against the burnt-out brain's belief that all your free time has to be optimized or efficient. Fight this by actively scheduling things that are delightfully useless. It's not reading a book to learn something, but reading a silly novel because it's fun. It's not cooking to meal prep for the week, but making a grilled cheese because it's comforting. It's about relearning how to do things just for the sake of pleasure itself. And finally, the third antidote is to practice micro-recoveries, which are small acts of self-compassion. Healing from burnout isn't a one-week vacation, it's built in tiny moments. Ask yourself this question: what do I need right now to feel just 1% better? The answer is rarely something grand. It might be drinking a glass of water, stretching for 30 seconds, looking out the window, or simply giving yourself permission to do absolutely nothing for 5 minutes without any guilt. And all of these strategies, The rituals, the useless pleasures, the micro-recoveries, they all point to one fundamental truth that we forget when we're burnt out. You are not a machine. Burnout is not a personal failure or a sign of weakness. It is a human response to sustained, inhuman demands. The first step to healing is not to try harder. It's simply to acknowledge the depth of your exhaustion and, instead of blaming yourself for it, choose one small antidote to try today. Because recovery isn't about becoming productive again, it's about becoming yourself again.